Hello YouTube! I'm Dale, your local Polish cat, and today we're gonna be watching the history of the Tokyogurl. So how to fake an entire esport career without ever playing, by Mujin. Please enjoy.
How far would you be willing to go in order to fake a life that isn't yours? In today's world,
Listen, I'm a vtuber, you can already say I'm faking my entire life.
this is a question worth asking, because let's face it, there's too many people out there renting a sports car for a day pretending that it's theirs. And God, if I see another guru on a tropical island claiming that they made it because they did a few stock trades, then I might just burst.
I absolutely hate those kind of people. Ew, 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 ew. Or when you have some random influences, you go into some tropical vacation, something like this, on a platter, you know, they didn't pay for anything. They're just getting a free trip for posting pictures of it, stuff like this. I absolutely hate it. Ew, 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 ew. I don't know, I just don't like it somehow.
Burst a testicle. It takes common sense to understand that these people are using credit cards. This, of course, is all done in the hopes of trying to impress others. And while yes, it is pathetic, ridiculous even, it is done on a wide scale these days. I mean, this has gotten so big that there's an entire economy built around fake influencers.
It reminds me of something. It will be a Polish drama, so I think even Polish people won't know it actually. But I think there's like a big cult of parent influencers. You know, the people who make their entire content about having a child, right? And actually, there was a group of people who were having fake followers, fake everything, and they were going for any possible sponsorship. Usually for a barter rather than a money sponsorship, and they were just hyping each other, so they would have some kind of comments, likes, etc. On their posts, just so they can get more sponsorships. It was so disgusting. The sharenting, yeah, the sharenting. But listen, I would say sharenting and being a parent influence is something completely different, because sharenting is like when you overshare your child on the internet. And parent content, I would say parent content is kind of needed, you know? The kind of content where mothers would be like, oh yeah, so, well, if you're having this kind of issue with your newborn or something, and they would just give some advices, right? I think this kind of content is needed, right? But shunting is something completely different, is when you completely overshare. So, you know, posting, I don't know, some kind of video from when you were birthing? When you give the birth to the child, stuff like this, you know? This is sharenting.
People who rent out mansions, sports cars, photographers, you name it, all in the hopes of appearing to be something that they are not. However, even though we've gotten to a point where this has gotten worryingly sophisticated, with an entire economy built around it, all of this still pales in comparison to the fake life that esports athlete Nafak Warasin has lived for the last few years. An absolute rising star in one of
This is pretty!
Southeast Asia's most popular games. She managed to get signed to one of the top esports organizations of the region, which eventually led her to the highest honor imaginable, representing her country of Thailand in the 2025 Southeast Asia Games. Now, yes, admittedly, throughout all this time, she definitely had some suspicious behavior. There were definitely some doubts in regards to her avoided nature, but her teammates attributed that to maybe her being awkward, to maybe being nervous. You see, no one on her top team throughout so many hours playing with her could have ever guessed that her entire esports career has been nothing but fake. And no one could have...
How do you even fake being an esport player? Like, I think recently there was this kind of drama in League of Legends community, wasn't there? That there was a guy who was pretending to be a girl and was doing some kind of challenge, climbing to challenger from a new account, something like this. But then they discovered that it was a guy, he was pretending to be a girl, and he was boosted already, something like this. Like some kind of Soyaka player, if I remember right. I don't remember too much about it. But listen, I understand if it happens to a streamer, like if it happens to just a random player, but an esport player? Like a pro player? What do you mean? How is that possible?
Even begun to come to the conclusion that for all this time, she wasn't even the one playing.
What?
What's even worse here is that this only got exposed after she had gotten on the Thailand national team and during an extremely important game between Thailand and Vietnam, which would have led this team to the finals. Yes, she was actually caught red-handed live on stream during the semifinals of a competition that is the equivalent
Arena of Valor. I remember this game. I used to play it on my phone. There's a pro. Wait. Arena of Valor got like entire esports teams. What? Wait, what? I'm trying to think about it, but you know, when it comes to like esports in general, I thought mostly like computer games had esports teams. I never knew there was like a pro player scene for mobile games, actually. Okay.
of the Olympics of Southeast Asia. Guys, I can't even begin to explain to you the secondhand embarrassment. I mean, this was so humiliating. Not just for
Yeah.
her, though, not just for her teammates, but for the entire country of Thailand. And if you
Yeah.
thought this was bad, then wait till you hear who was the person that was playing remotely for her during her entire career. We only recently got confirmation in the beginning of 2026, and it's one hell of a way to start the year. Look, when I saw this, I thought it was so ridiculous, we had to talk about it. So you already know the drill. Without further ado, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right, so to fully grasp what's going on, we have to go
Yeah.
all the way back to the year
Tencent acquires majority stake in Riot Games. Wait, what? Liga. I see League. I like it. I need to read it. New York Rota's Chinese internet company, Tencent Holding, has acquired a majority stake in Riot Games, the video game developer and publisher, said on Friday. Tencent controls about 1/3 of China's online gaming markets and runs the country's largest online messaging platform. What? Okay, Japanese mobile social gaming company Inca said last month that it would share a common development platform with Tencent, China's largest internet company by a market value. Okay, Riot Games will maintain independent operations and its existing management team. It is said in a statement it plans to hire aggressively in 2011. In 2011?
year 2011, when Tencent
Okay.
would purchase Riot Games. This move was unprecedented and cost around $350 million. They were willing to make this bet because they understood how big the mobile market was becoming. But more importantly, they were also understanding just how quickly the mobile market was becoming.
yeah.
Barely 2 years prior, Angry Birds had come out. And a year later, Candy Crush would come out. And these games
I remember this time. My mom used to play Candy Crush all the time on her phone. I just remember she was just, sitting on the sofa non-stop on her phone. I was looking what she was doing. She was just playing this Candy Crush non-stop. Dude, it was huge.
games would generate billions upon billions of dollars. Soon developers would stop looking at PC and console and just focus on mobile because it was a cash cow, an absolute money printing machine, and it changed gaming forever. By 2015, Tencent's leadership team truly wanted to work with Riot Games to make a mobile version of League of Legends. But no matter what Tencent did, no matter how many pitches they made, no matter how much revenue they started talking about, Riot Games leadership wouldn't budge. They truly believed that the experience that PC offered could never be replicated on mobile. But Tencent
And now we have the Wild Rift. Ayo.
wasn't simply going to take no for an answer. In fact, even before asking Riot Games for their permission, they were already developing a MOBA for mobile behind the scenes and released it on that same year in November 2015, exclusively for
Dude, that looks exactly like League of Legends. Like, exactly like League of Legends. What is this biome?
China. And that game would be none other than Honor of Kings. 10 years later, Honor of Kings is still the highest grossing mobile game of all time.
Isn't it like you can only buy skins in this game? I used to play, I don't know, Valor quite a lot when I didn't have like access to PC because my old laptop broke. So like for 2 years, I think I was playing only stuff on my phone and I was focusing on studies. And I think the only stuff you could buy in this game was like the battle passes during the time, the skins, the champions, of course. Like, just like in League of Legends. Do people really spend that much money to buy skins? Like, what? I get that it's a huge market, right? But I really thought there will be some kind of MOBA here. Bro, the second place is Candy Crush Saga. PUBG, Mobile, Monster Strike, Clash of Clans, Pokemon Go, Puzzle and Dragons, Fate Grand Order. Okay, Fate Grand Order here. I didn't expect this. Genshin Impact. So I guess that is Gacha? Roblox Mobile. Alright. Coin Master, Garena Free Fire, Dragon Ball Z, Dokkan Battle, Lineage M. Alright. So there's not that many gachas, by the way. It's kinda surprising to me, isn't it? I mean, I know that, for example, wasn't there this one Otome gacha game that was earning huge amount of money? How was it called? The one when you were dating guys and you were like pulling to get some scenes with them. I think it was a Chinese game. It was called, I think, Deep something in romance, something like that. Love and Deep Space? Yeah, Love and Deep Space. Love and Deep Space. Yeah. I know that this game, like, is making enormous amount of the money. But I thought it will be... But I cannot even see it here. That's so messed up, dude.
Beating Candy Crush, PUBG, Clash of Clans, you name it. Making a whopping $18.6 billion. The game would prove to be so successful that Tencent would release a non-Chinese version for the rest of the world. It would be called Arena of Valor, and it would be published by G.
Dude, what would you do with $18 billion? $18 billion? Bro, that's the amount of money you cannot even spend during your entire lifetime. It's so much money, you just cannot spend it. It's impossible to just spend it. If I had this amount of the money, I would buy a huge house and invite every kitty I can see on a street. I would make a huge hotel for cats. That would be my idea.
Arena. Now, this game wouldn't really find a lot of success in the West, but would instead find its success in Southeast Asia. It is the biggest mobile game in Thailand, for example, and so it continued to garner an obscene amount of money. Riot Games, on the other hand, would finally release a mobile version of League of Legends called League of Legends Wild Rift in 2020, 5 years after Honor of Kings had released exclusively in China. In 5 years, they made $1 billion in gross revenue and aren't even in the top 50 highest grossing mobile games of all time. So if you ever needed proof that the people running Riot Games have maybe like barely 2 brain cells, this is it. And the reason why I told you all this is because this...
Bro, I don't need anyone to even tell me this, okay? I think this every possible moment when I'm playing League of Legends and my client randomly breaks down. It happens way too often. I'm just playing the game, finishing the game, and the entire client is just broken. Like, I can't click anything or something. It happened way too many times, okay? Riot, small indie company. But why the client is not working sometimes? Why?
This incident involves Arena of Valor. You see, esports tournaments in Southeast Asia always have a form of mobile games, whether it be PUBG or Arena of Valor, and they're taken very seriously. This is where the Southeast Asian Games come in. It's seen as this region's Olympics, and it happens once every 2 years. It features a wide array of different sports, and of course, one of these categories involves esports, more specifically, Arena of Valor. Now look, as I mentioned in the intro already, when it comes to...
It's actually so nice to hear it. I don't know why, but in most of the countries, it's like esport is not so seen as a sport. So it's so like pleasurable. I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to hear that it is there. It makes me feel like, yay! My nerdy hobby actually is seen as a sport. Yay!
Arena of Valor, Tokyogurl was a rising star. So much so that Talon Esports, a recognizable name in the Southeast Asian scene, decided to sign her on their team. And I mean, by this point, one could argue she made it, right? What better indicator of success do you need in esports than getting signed on to a team? But to Tokyogurl, this was still the beginning of her journey, because with that same team, she would go on to compete in the Thailand Women's National Qualifier for Arena.
What's the substitute? What is there? Mid lane support substitute. offlane, jungle, carry, and a coach. Okay, so she was like this one additional player during that time. Alright.
Arena of Valor. And guess what? Her role here would be substitute.
Yeah.
But she was so damn good that by the end, not only did they win the entire national qualifier, but she went from substitute to carry.
Jeez.
One of the most important roles in the game. And yeah,
But is the carry like AD carry, something like this? Or is it like some other role? I'm trying to kind of, get it as a doll. I'm trying to translate it to my League of Legends brain right now. I think it is something around AD carry if I remember right. But still, dude. I would say AD carry is a kind of hard lane. Like, yeah, you stay bot. But still, you're usually really squishy. It's quite easy to kill you. You have a lot of damage, but it's really easy to kill you, basically. Something like that, something like that.
yes, by the way, they won, which meant that they qualified to represent their country of Thailand in the Southeast Asia Games. That's what the qualifier was for. Team Talon was going to have the incredible honor of representing their country, and Tokyogurl was right there as the team's carry. Not only that, though, she was seen as the rising star of the women's Arena Valor esports scene and was being given nicknames like Beautiful Girl or whatever because she was both beautiful and incredibly skilled at the game.
Bro, I think all of them are beautiful, emo. Emo.
I mean, by this point, we could say that she truly, really made it, right? But in reality, this is where things were about to get very real because she and her team had immense pressure on their shoulders. You see, Thailand has the most gold, silver, and bronze medals in this competition's history.
That's a lot of medals. Wait, what? What? How many medals did they get for like one at the... Only one match, like only 1 year. Cause like, that's a huge amount of them.
So they had high expectations to keep up the status quo. I should point out that this ranking isn't the most fair thing because not all the countries on this list were members on day one. In fact, Vietnam, for example, started off as South Vietnam. But you get the point, okay? Thailand is well known to have the most medals in this competition's history. But that wasn't just it. The members of the Southeast Asian Games take turns hosting the games on their territory. And in 2025, the year her and her team were going to compete, Thailand was going to be the host.
I'm so sorry, I saw the Indonesia flag here and I was like, is it Polish? No, it cannot be Polish. And then I read Indonesia. My brain is not working, okay?
They were representing their own country on their own soil. The pressure couldn't have been higher. And so, on December 15th, it began. The Southeast Asian Games 33 Group Stage Women Arena of Valor Tournament. 4 countries participated: Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, and Timor-Leste. Based on the qualifiers, Thailand was on track to make it to the finals. All they had to do was win against Vietnam. This was their first game in this tournament. So Thailand's team's only goal here was to just defeat Vietnam so they can make it to the finals in...
How does it even work, actually? Lower bracket semi-final. Upper bracket final. Oh, it's the final stage, so it's already, like the end of the end. Lower bracket final. Okay, yeah. So there was one more match over here, right? There must be one. Okay.
And guarantee second place if they would win.
Oh, they didn't have to play like one more. Oh, no way. I'm just... Well, there was supposed to be one more match over here, right? So they can get to this upper bracket, right? Oh no, I just don't understand how does it work. It can be both, I believe. And maybe it was like the champion from the last year or something is going to the upper bracket and they don't need to play like the qualification, the semifinals, something like this. But I don't think it sounds good. It could always change, right? I don't know.
In the next match, they would guarantee a gold medal. They were in a very good position here, and they were so close to getting a minimum of top 2. But of course, seeing that they're on their home soil and they're representing their country, they were going for the gold medal. However, with some of the complications that occurred, I'm sure that some of the team members would have just rather gotten a bronze medal. In fact, no medal, rather than have to go through the embarrassment of having Tokyogurl on their team. All right, so here's the deal. Tokyogurl's suspicious behavior would begin even before the game started. You see, as part of the tournament, they're all given a game phone. They can't use their own phone to compete, obviously. When Tokyogurl would receive her phone, she'd ask, "Can I take the phone with me so I can set it up with my own settings?" She was told, "Of course not, that's against the rules." But that would only be the beginning of her suspicious activity. She'd be acting weird even on the livestream, trying to hide her phone from the camera in front of her, making it seem like there's something on there that would get her in trouble somehow. And then
I'm thinking about that for a second because, making sure the settings you usually play with, that does make a lot of sense, right, for the games. But usually when you log into your account, usually all of your settings are transferred with your account, right? You log into a new account, it has different settings than your account, right? Something like this. So yeah, I can totally understand why it was already like off-putting. Yeah, girl, you didn't start with the best idea, I guess. It's already starting so bad.
Then eventually, live on stream, the Thai coach would catch something weird happening on her screen. And this is when the game would be paused. People initially were confused as to why the pause was happening. Some of her teammates had no idea what was going on, but the stream kept running, and she was being confronted by staff. They noticed that the movements she was making on her phone weren't matching the in-game movements. And what's worse is that the game would continue after this, and her performance would become severely worse. It seemed like after being caught, a switch had flipped. And as the second game was starting, her performance became abysmal, barely able to get a single kill. But at the time, fans weren't even concerned with any of this. They were concerned with the fact that she was acting weird after being caught, making a middle finger gesture to the camera. This is of course seen as very unprofessional and not fit for an athlete. But
Dude, listen, they didn't even caught her yet. They just saw that something was wrong and they just pointed it out. I feel like if her behavior wouldn't be just like throwing the middle finger to the camera, but she would just keep playing, even way worse, but she would just keep playing, okay? None of this would like come out because I feel like you could kind of explain it with a stress or something. That yeah, they thought something was wrong and she started stressing over because of it. I think she could totally be able to go away with it. But why she started being like this? Why would she start being like this? Girl. If you're trying to cause trouble from the beginning, if you're trying to cheat from the beginning, you go in non-stop with saying that you didn't do anything, trying to act as normal as you can. Say no to everything. That's the #1 rule, okay? Like, if you want to cheat on your exam, your teacher almost catches you, just say, no, you didn't cheat, right? Right?
I guess this was just her way of coping with the idea that she was caught. So as I mentioned, after she was caught, the games kept going on. Tokyogurl's performance would be abysmal, some of the worst games she's ever played in her career. And Thailand would end up losing to Vietnam 0-3. It was a very embarrassing defeat, but what was more embarrassing are the extremely quick and ruthless consequences that came her way on the same day. Very shortly after Thailand's crushing defeat to Vietnam, the Thailand National Olympic Committee would post this letter on their socials, saying, "Decision on personal penalty for a Thai athlete of the Thailand Arena of Valor women's team, esports event at the 33rd SEA Games Thailand 2025. To whom it may concern, this is to inform you of the decision made during the Arena of Valor women's team match between Team Thailand and Team Vietnam in the winners final of the esports competition at the 33rd Southeast Asian Games on December 15th, 2025. A Thai athlete, Warasin Nafat, committed an offense under item 943 of the Esports Technical Handbook by using unauthorized third-party software or hardware modification during Game 1 of the match. After further investigation, conclusive evidence was found, which led to the imposition of a personal penalty resulting in her expulsion from the entirety of the esports competition at the 33rd Southeast Asian Games. The decision is final."
I'm so sad they just didn't tell us what happened. Like, not was it third-party software or hardware modification? Hardware modification of a phone? How would it even work? Like, she would put a pen drive in or something? And I have no idea how is it even like supposed to work. I was so sad they didn't just tell us like what program was it at least.
Above is for your information and understanding. Thank you and best regards. Signed, the Esports Technical Delegate of the 33rd Southeast Asian games. So hey, that investigation didn't take long at all. And this letter would serve to be the beginning of a tsunami for Tokyogurl's entire career. But before we get to that, let's take a step back. What the hell did they mean when they said using unauthorized third-party software or hardware modification? What exactly did she do? How could you even cheat in a MOBA game? Well, that wasn't clear. The Thailand National Olympic Committee didn't give any specifics, so you had many people theorize, and even news publications theorize, that what she was using was TeamViewer, a program that allows you to remotely control a user's device. But you see, anyone who's used TeamViewer before can attest to the fact that it's laggy as fuck. The latency would not allow.
Yeah, I believe like any kind of taking control over someone else's screen and stuff like this, it's always laggy. There's always some kind of delay. It's always lagging a lot. I remember how back in the day, during the pandemic time, during like online lessons and stuff like this, sometimes teachers were giving us a control over their screens. We would click something or type something. It used to lag so much back in the day. Maybe now it's better, but still, like controlling another device over just Wi-Fi or something, it's always laggy.
Allow you to compete in a high-level esports tournament, especially in a MOBA. It requires split-second decisions. Additionally, many people were wondering how we could even start talking about remote interference when this was a tournament. Aren't tournaments like this usually held on a local network? Well, it turned out that no, actually. Not in the case of the women's tournament. The women's tournament for Arena of Valor was on an online private server. So things were starting to get very interesting, to say the least, but no problem.
But why? It's just like only the women one was told of, like, why? Just why? I mean, why did they make it like every other? I feel like, I don't know, maybe they just kinda, I don't know, didn't thought about it. They didn't want to put too much effort into it or something. I have no idea, bro. I'm looking at the characters, I can recognize some of them. I feel so bad with it. I don't know. When it comes to like League of Legends, when I see League of Legends on the screen, right? I don't feel like this. But when it comes to this game, it's like, it's been a few years since I played it. I still freaking remember the characters.
Proper conclusions were reached just yet as to how she cheated. In the meantime, though, the tsunami on her career would continue, and Talon would very quickly release a statement saying she is out of our organization effective immediately. Additionally, she'll be repaying around 9 months of her training costs for the entire duration of when she was under our organization. Now, they didn't specify a number, but around 9 months of training expenses, yeah, that's not a small amount of money, I'm sure. As far as I'm aware, this also included prize money. And of course, seeing all this happen, G Arena wasted no time whatsoever and also put out a statement on their Facebook page. In it, they would of course express outrage and announce that they were banning Tokyogurl from participating in anything related to Arena of Valor indefinitely, forever. But of course, this tsunami ending her career didn't just involve companies. It also involved her heartbroken teammates, like for example, Give Me a Kiss. The captain—
Yeah, I feel so bad for the teammates right now. Imagine you even didn't have an idea that it was going on. And all of a sudden, entire nation at this point, I believe, you know, it's concentrated around you. It's focused around you, on your entire team. And some people gonna always be like, oh yeah, there's no way they didn't knew about it, right? Oh, I feel so bad for them. Even more because they're actual players. They're actual players who do play good. So if they didn't change this girl from the substitute to the carry, they could actually just win it without any issues. Like, imagine. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you're a pro player like this, you need to handle your PR as well when you know, typing public messages. And you just cannot, like, let people know how mad are you about this entire situation. Like, you can say, yeah, it's a really sad situation and stuff. You said that something like this happened in your team. But you cannot just outright say, what do you think of this person, you know? It's so sad. I feel bad for them.
For the Talon team, and by that same token, the captain for the Thailand national team. On December 15th, she'd post, I was heartbroken when I found out, but I'll do my best. Her heartbreak is of course in reference to her teammate cheating, but her saying that she'll do her best was in reference to the game they've still yet to play in the lower bracket final. You see, shortly after the game with Vietnam, Tokyogurl would get benched. The Thailand national team would then bring in the substitute to play against Laos because they had won against Timor-Leste and therefore qualified to play Thailand in the lower bracket final. The winner of the lower bracket final would face off against Vietnam in the real finals for the gold medal. Thailand would actually end up winning against Laos, qualifying them for the finals against Vietnam. This game against Laos would happen on the next day in the early morning of the 16th. However, barely a few hours later, Santi Lothong, who is the president of the Thai Esports Federation, would go live on his personal Facebook page. This is when he would confirm, while breaking down in tears, that the Thailand national team for Arena of Valor would be withdrawing from the competition entirely, even though they had made it to the finals against Vietnam. This meant that Laos would take their place, and this meant that Thailand was withdrawing with 0 medals in the women's tournament for Arena of Valor. He'd then speak to a newspaper on that matter and say, I, Santi Lothong, as president of the Thai Esports Federation and president of the Asian Esports Federation, hereby announce that Thailand will withdraw its Arena of Valor women's team from the 33rd SEA Games hosted by Thailand.
Bro, that's even more sad. The team won the lower bracket. They got qualified to the finals again. This time with the substitute player, so a real player, 5 real players now, no cheaters. But because of this one girl, they had to resign. Imagine. Oh, I cannot express how sorry I am for them. That is so messed up. I mean, I do kind of understand why they would resign, right? But I feel so bad for all the team members. Like, imagine spending those 9 months training for a tournament, training to, play better with your team, communicate better, just cooperate in general, learn how to play some specific characters, like, make some strategies, etc. All of it, all those 9 months of the training going to waste because there was one really bad apple in your team. I feel so bad for them.
We respect all regulations, we respect friendships, and we respect the spirit of sport.
And also, why I also feel bad for them? It's because then in the future, if they want to continue or something, now they will always have this kind of reputation. Like, this kind of stuff stays with the team. There will always be this kind of thought that, oh yeah, they had the cheater on the team in the background of people's head, right? Even if it's not their fault. It's so annoying.
Sportsmanship. What happened went beyond our scope of responsibility, as this is a serious matter. As the host nation, we cannot allow the tournament to continue under such circumstances. We understand that the Thai and Laotian teams still competed this morning. Thank you, Chairman Chan, for not filing a complaint against Thailand or withdrawing from the tournament this morning. That is the spirit of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Thank you to the Laotian athletes for taking to the field and showing respect for Thailand. As the president of the association, I would like to send my encouragement to the remaining athletes who are still competing. I understand that you have all tried your best. Last night I spoke with Coach Poom. This is truly a very difficult situation, with Thailand being the host country and me as the president of the Asian Federation, who is absolutely responsible for overseeing this tournament. After that, I will speak individually with the athletes in my capacity as the esports manager of Thailand. So as you can see, this was a very big deal. It was very embarrassing, heartbreaking, and humiliating to anyone that had anything to do with Thailand. After the announcement of them officially withdrawing from the competition, Give Me a Kiss would post another Facebook post that was met with a ton of support, saying, I'm speechless with sadness. We've all worked so hard for this, towards our shared dream and goal. Last night, we continued practicing with the remaining lineup until very late. My heart is completely shattered. Finally, I want to apologize to everyone. You see, this was...
Ew, that's so sad. All the stress, all the effort going to waste because of this one person who couldn't even behave themselves on the cameras when they got caught. Oh, it's just painful. Ew, 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 ew. I just really hope she met the consequences, not only being kicked out of the team, not only having her reputation tarnished. I just really hope that she met some real responsibility for her action.
It wasn't just about the teammates of Tokyogurl or the organizers. This stretched way beyond to any Thai athlete. In parallel, for
Yeah.
example, the men's division of Arena of Valor had won second place. But now,
Yeah.
even that was being put into question. Did they cheat? Did they do this legit? They had essentially faced additional scrutiny just because of that incident and made it seem like they faked their win. All Thai
Yeah, dude, it's like only because of this one person. Now they're gonna be not judging, but they're gonna be having like the second guesses about everyone from there, because everyone could do the same. And now I feel like it's as well bad for the female esport as well, because it will also be like, oh, what if other girls in other teams gonna do the same? It's always so annoying because it's one person and one person's fault, and it's gonna affect basically the entire scene, either of the country or this specific game or esport in general, and it's so annoying. Ew.
Thai athletes were beginning to suffer from this. So seeing that this incident had escaped containment like radiation had escaped Chernobyl, and the consequences were spreading shockwaves across the entirety of Thailand as a country and its integrity and its pride, what did Tokyogurl have to say about it? Did she apologize? Did she make amends? Did she try to make it right? Nope.
Aww.
Because why would she? Instead, she'd be hospitalized immediately after. And the only public statement she'd make would be a
What?
reply to a Facebook post criticizing her. Here's what she'd have to say. Let me answer. If I had cheated, I would have won a long time ago. To be honest, how could I have cheated? I was playing by myself, but because of the stress and pressure of the game, I panicked. At that time, no one around me knew what was happening, so I was taken to the hospital. I've only just been able to use my phone and my hand is still plugged into an IV drip, so I'm completely unable to share or clarify anything about the fraud. You don't know what I've been through, and yet you're saying that? Anyone in that situation wouldn't know how to react either. As for the middle finger incident, I was just joking with the person sitting next to me.
You were looking at the camera. You were pointing at the camera. What do you mean? What do you mean right now? Girl, what the hell? What the hell? You got caught cheating. You already know you used some kind of either hardware modification or some software that allowed you to cheat there. I mean, okay, listen, if you want to say, no, I didn't cheat, you need to do it from the beginning. You cannot just, show the middle finger to the camera when you got caught. It's not gonna work this way. It's already suspicious, because you behaved this way. It's already suspicious. Now you cannot just go no, I didn't. And what is about this hospital thing here? I feel like recently, everyone who does something bad in general ends up in the hospital being like, oh, I'm in the hospital, don't say anything bad about me, or saying that their health got really bad because of all the stress from this incident. If you really were in the hospital because of all of this, you cheated, and that's why. You cannot do something, see that people have negative reaction about it because you basically kind of messed up entire freaking team with this, and then be like, oh no, because of all this stress, so now I am in the hospital. You did it to yourself if you really were in the hospital. It's so annoying. Just listen. If they caught you like this, just try to say you're sorry. We are seeing how her teammates are suffering because of you. The entire team cannot play anymore on this tournament because of you. And then this? Can't even say sorry, can't even explain anything? Girl, what the hell? Ew.
When I turned around, the camera was pointed at someone else's face. I was just teasing my friends because I was so stressed at the time. I was so panicked that I fainted, which is why I had to be taken to the hospital. I mean, seriously, what an incredible 10 out of 10 statement. Truly redeemed herself with that one. I mean, who is this Cha-Cha Chilla trying to gain sympathy by telling us she's in the hospital? Look,
What?
under no
I didn't know this drama. Is it a VTuber drama? I'm not really on time with VTuber dramas usually. But I feel like now I need to watch this one as well.
circumstances should someone hurt themselves over anything. But
Yeah.
come on, you fainted because you were stressed? Of course you would be, because you were caught. And no one's
Yeah.
gonna believe that whole middle finger story. You were looking directly at the camera.
Yeah.
And as she was trying to defend herself in this stupidly made post, more details would emerge as to how she cheated. So each
What?
player was given a phone, right? And since this
Yeah.
wasn't played on LAN, this was played on an online private server, each player was given an account to log in with. Tokyogurl would then take these credentials and send them to someone else so that they can log in and play for her. She would then install Discord, okay, and get into a call with the person playing for her. That
What?
person would then screen share their game. Tokyogurl would watch the screen share and full screen it, and would then attempt to mimic their movements on her screen, faking the fact that she was the one who was playing.
Bro, what in the Discord e-kittens is that? What? What? National tournament and you cheating with Discord? You couldn't even come out with a more foolproof idea? What the hell? It's no longer. It doesn't make me angry anymore. It just makes me embarrassed for her at this point. What do you mean? Esport tournament and cheating on the
And get this wasn't just
okay.
done for this tournament. This is what she's been doing for her entire career.
Oh
Because
my
after
God.
the first round, after she was caught and had to actually close Discord, her performance would become abysmal. So after her terrible reply, and after the reveal of what she had done to cheat, Tokyogurl would delete her Instagram page, her Facebook page, and her TikTok, essentially
Bro, that's the fast-paced idea she ever got. Not gonna lie.
wiping all traces of herself online. As people were still mind blown by how she was able to fake her entire career through using Discord, the Vietnamese newspaper VN Express would interview some players in the Arena of Valor community, including the team captain Give Me a Kiss, to try and understand Tokyogurl's insane story a bit better. The article would say, Tokyogurl had long been a prominent name in Thailand's Arena of Valor community. Team captain Jomkon Pumsino, known as Give Me a Kiss, said she was widely regarded as one of the country's strongest female marksmen and jungle players.
Oh.
Her live streams and TikTok videos regularly showcased high-level gameplay, leading to her inclusion in the national squad without a formal tryout.
So she got into the team because she was playing on high level on TikTok. Imagine. Okay, that sounds just like a disaster waiting to happen. You cannot say no. You cannot say no. That's just sad. That's just ridiculous.
Head coach Jakopon Pom and several teammates said Tokyogurl appeared to be the strongest player on the roster during preseason practice matches. However, they noted that she rarely attended in-person training sessions and mostly played with the team online. Surprise, surprise, right? Tokyogurl's reputation was further reinforced by Chicken V, a well-known Thai Arena of Valor streamer who had previously helped introduce her to a wider audience. I played solo matches against her and lost badly, Chicken V said. But in hindsight, there were warning signs. She always had someone beside her when playing online. When I asked her to play in person, she often made excuses. Looking back at her old videos, none showed her hands or the screen, only her forehead. So you see,
Literally, there's so many red flags. So many red flags. Ay ay ay. 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 Who would have known? Who would have known? No one could have known. No one. So many red flags.
See, there were signs, but these people chose to give her the benefit of the doubt. And yet she completely used their trust and threw it in the garbage. However, one question remained. Who the hell was behind her gameplay?
Yeah.
Who is this insane player that allowed her to fake her entire career?
Now, I feel like no one is gonna like come out and be like, oh yeah, hello, it's me. Like, if they play on this level, they are probably esports players as well, aren't they? Like, it would be just stupid to come out and be like, oh hello, I was the one playing. Like, it would just be stupid.
Well, and you won't believe this, but it just so happened that Tokyogurl's boyfriend had been an ex-esports player for Arena of Valor.
It's okay. It's her ex. It could not be him. It could be just a coincidence. Listen, there's a chance it's a coincidence. Oh, I'm scared to hit a play button again. I'm scared that right now I said the worst possible thing and it's gonna be him.
I know, absolutely crazy.
Let me cope with it. Let me cope. I need some copium.
No one would have guessed that. So people theorized that it was him. However, no one had any concrete proof and no one had come out to reveal this.
It could be a coincidence, right?
That would be, of course, until a couple weeks would pass by after the incident, because on January 2nd, the remote player would finally confess. To almost nobody's surprise, on January 2nd, Cheerio would come out and confess that he was the player playing remotely for Tokyogurl. He confessed this by posting a statement on his personal TikTok account, an account that still, even after posting the confession, has a donation link in the bio. I mean, how shameless can you really be? The statement would of course be in Thai and would comprise of 2 pages. Here's what it had to say. Hello, I'm Cheerio, and I want to clarify the issues that occurred during the SEA Games 33 and other tournaments where there were suspicions of substitutions in many matches. I acknowledge that this is true as reported by the press. I've had time to reflect. I regret what I have done and I want to offer my sincere apologies to society. Okay, this is a bit roughly translated, but you know, you'll get the point, I'm sure. I take responsibility for what happened and accept all criticism and consequences without any justification.
Why would you come out with it? Dude, I'm judging their decision making. Why would he come out with this? Like, it's gonna completely ruin all of your reputation. And you're an ex-esport player. Like, if you're an ex-esport player, it means you can kind of still come back to do it if you get, you know, better or something, or play in some smaller teams, right? Why would you come out? Like, just why? I see no reason. It's like shooting yourself in the foot, yeah. He felt bad, he felt guilt. Dude, if it was me, no amount of guilt would make me come out and just say I was the one. Like, the bigger is the scandal, the more I feel like the person behind it wouldn't want to come out. No, you wouldn't cheat. No, I wouldn't. But listen, the option was to stay quiet and people being like, oh, yeah, maybe it was him. Yeah, it was probably him, but we don't know for sure. We cannot know it for sure, right? And the second option is like him saying it out loud and literally having a non-existent reputation at this point. Like, why would he do it?
I apologize to those affected by my selfish actions. I apologize to all Thai people for bringing shame to the country. This incident is an important lesson in my life. I will use it to reflect on myself, improve, and make amends. I promise that I will not let anyone else be harmed or let the country lose its reputation because of my actions again. Finally, I would like to apologize to everyone once again. I apologize to Mr. Santi Lotong, president of the Thai Esports Association. I apologize to the Talon women's team. I apologize to the other women's teams that lost their chance. I apologize to everyone involved in all the tournaments I participated in, and I apologize to everyone who was disappointed with the results. I decided to speak out late because the public outcry was so strong and so rapid that I wasn't prepared and didn't know how to respond. I apologize to everyone. I'm currently in a place where I'm not ready to live stream. When I get home, I will live stream to apologize and again explain what everyone wants to know. So look, already way better than the statements that Tokyogurl made, but still, a lot of questions remain unanswered. And I guess when he eventually live streams, maybe we'll get to know.
Okay, now that I think about it, okay? Maybe he was scared she will tell it. Because in this kind of situation, the worst that could happen to him is if he wouldn't say anything and she would come out and say that it was him. That's the only worst thing that could happen, right? But I'm thinking about it and like, I don't know, dude. This entire situation is so fishy. Like, yeah, she cheated and that's fishy in itself, right? But like, why would you take your ex-boyfriend to do it? How did this idea even started in their head? That's what I wonder about. Cause it's not like everyday idea, okay? Like, oh, can you play for me so I get into like esports on national level and I can win a lot of stuff and a lot of money? Like, it's not an everyday idea to happen in your head, isn't it? Isn't it?
No. And according to this article by the Vietnamese publication known as Bao Moi, Cheerio.
Oh, Chad is correcting me. He was her boyfriend, just ex-pro player. That's so much worse. It means that they either didn't knew at all. They didn't thought they gonna get catch, right? While cheating through Discord. Which is stupid in itself. Like, listen, if you're cheating on a national level with a Discord, this is stupidity. A pure stupidity. And doing this kind of stuff when he was an ex-pro player. I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. It's so bad.
Is highly regarded in the Thai esports scene. Specifically for Arena of Valor, he's seen as a very skilled player. Interestingly enough, someone of his skill and playstyle stood more to lose than Tokyogurl by doing this. So that's one of the questions that's unanswered. Why did he do this? Purely because he was her boyfriend, or was there something else at play? Either way, in the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter, because the Thai Esports Association immediately would announce that they're taking action not just against Tokyogurl, but now against Cheerio after he admitted being the remote player. This is where Santi Latong would confirm that he'll be pursuing legal action against both individuals to the fullest extent, saying that Cheerio's admission will expedite the investigation process by allowing communication companies to check the IP addresses of the offenders for evidence, with authorities affirming that legal proceedings will continue until fully resolved.
You need evidence when they just said it out loud? Like, do you still need evidence for this? You already know. You already know that he did it. He said he did it. You still need to get evidence for this?
And by the way, just as an update, yes, they've confirmed that the IP address was different. So it doesn't take a genius to understand that this couple will be facing a lot of headaches in 2026. And the year has barely just started. But speaking of headaches, the ones who actually have to suffer through them for a long time now will be anyone, more specifically any woman looking to compete for Thailand. Or you know what? In esports in general. This is well explained by Frozen Kiss, one of the biggest Thai female content creators who also used to be an esports athlete. She'd make this post on Facebook saying, "I'm speechless with disappointment. Why would someone cheat to make the national team? Even in smaller tournaments, it's unacceptable. Other women's teams that are serious, dedicated to training and competing have been developing for so long. This Southeast Asia Games was watched by many, and there was a growing desire to see a proper women's tournament established, and then it all fell apart. The problem of substitutions never goes away no matter how many years pass. Honestly, I'm so ashamed that..."
Wait, what? Does it mean it happened before? Does it mean it already happened? At least one more time? Oh, okay.
The player we used to compete with is accused of cheating at a national level. How will people view Thai female players now? Why would someone dare to ruin our country's reputation and the dedication of others? It feels so unfair. I feel so sorry for the other teams that worked so hard but lost like this. It's such a waste of opportunity. So as I mentioned before, this wasn't just about this team in particular or Tokyogurl in particular. This was about all Thai athletes. And I mean, think of how demotivating it is to be a team that had lost to Talon in the national qualifiers. Like, you lost out on the opportunity of representing your country because someone on the enemy team had their boyfriend playing for them. That's crazy. It's so unfortunate. And based on Frozen Kiss's post, she said the problem of substitutions never goes away no matter how many years pass. This means that this isn't the first time that a female athlete faked her entire career in esports. It's just that no one managed to fake it until they had reached the national team. It's only—
Bro, still! Reaching the national team! Were they playing on a Discord? Oh, I'm sorry, we're cheating with a Discord? It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Only normal to be furious if you're Thai, and I mean, it's only normal to be furious if you're a woman in general, honestly. I hope that the country's reputation can recover, and I hope that better measures are taken to make sure that everyone's playing fair in the future. This was an absolutely crazy incident, and I hope that this is the last time we hear of it. And for you watching, yes, you take this as a lesson. You can fake being something that you're not. Hell, you can probably do it for a long time, but eventually it'll catch up to you one way or another. The best you can do for yourself is to live a life full of authenticity while also making sure that you have no regrets. Don't take out.
That's why I'm laughing the way I am. Listen. That's why I'm not faking a laugh anymore. People who are here for a bit longer, they know I used to laugh like a normal person. And then I slowly decided having a weird laugh is not a reason to be embarrassed. Be yourself, be your weirdest self, and let's go.
Got a $50,000 loan to show off to people that don't matter on Instagram, and definitely don't somehow convince your boyfriend to play for you on a pro level. I mean, what the fuck? Anyway, thank you so much for watching until the end. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to use the code Mujin on Gamersubs for 10% off. You can do this on any of their tubs, and soon they'll be releasing their own version of creatine powder. Bro, this...
Sheesh, what is this? Creatine hydration. Ooh.
packaging looks insane. I'll see the next video whenever that is. Should be soon, because I'm gonna have a big sponsor announcement in that one. Stay tuned. I love you so much, and please take care. Mwah.
Hey man, I would love to play for Thailand. Let me know when. What is this meme? It's 2 AM right now. My neighbor is gonna hate me. They're gonna absolutely hate me for laughing. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Like, it was a crazy video. It's disgusting. It's just purely disgusting to me. If you ever like to watch some kind of esports, doesn't matter what game, if you just like to watch esports in general, I think it's disgusting to you as well. Even if you don't like esports, it should be also disgusting to you. I feel like faking anything in this world is just disgusting. Just be yourself, be weird, be unfunny, be cringe, just be yourself, dude. Be yourself and don't be ashamed of who you are. That's it.